Greg, the AEMO report is calling for a step up in renewables, transmission and power storage. The Climate Council says the right investment and policies are needed. What are those policies?
Oh, look, the key thing, the key driver really is the emissions reduction as we go forward, because that sets the fact that we then need to reduce our emissions everywhere, and we need to do it in the electricity sector, the energy sector, obviously in the transport sector and elsewhere. So setting the overall policy of hitting net zero really becomes key. When it then comes down to AEMO, they're very, very clear that we need to get the transmission in, we need to get more renewable energy in, a lot more storage. They are very clear that the coal-fired power stations are coming out and need to stop, and they become pretty clunky towards the end of their lives anyway and quite risky. So we just need to do that. And I think optimistically they're saying, we can do this. We as Australians can do this, but we have to just get going now and continuously and everywhere. So any policy which helps us reduce our emissions and bring in the renewable energy systems are going to be good and helpful policies.
AEMO pointed out the crucial role household batteries can play. We saw how well adopted household rooftop solar was with subsidies from the government. Do you think a similar program for energy storage would see more homeowners installing batteries at scale?
Yes, I think so, but probably the most important thing is they use the word orchestrated in the sense of, as more and more houses get solar panels on their roofs and more batteries get in, what you need to do is get them tuned into the distribution system. So it's like the house is talking to the grid is talking to the house. And when you do that, you can get a very efficient, resilient system at the local scale. That's going to become key. You know, I have panels on my roof, I have small batteries, but I can't really talk to the grid very, very much. But eventually, when we get massive amounts out there, it's going to play an enormous part in our energy transition.
Sticking with infrastructure, the report also calls for 10,000 kilometres of new transmission lines. There are a couple of key factors, I guess, to get there, one being the cost and two, getting communities along. How do you see that playing out?
Well, look, the transmission lines have been around for a very, very long time. Obviously, some will be going, as it were, in parallel with what is already in place. Others will be completely new. Getting the communities along is very, very key to any project. It doesn't matter whether it be an electricity project or some other type of project. You have to bring communities along. The key thing is it's going to bring benefits not only to the nation, but also to the states through which these transmission lines pass. But they've also got to bring benefits to the local communities as they go through as well. A lot of solar farms, wind farms out in some of the regional areas will bring benefits, but you have to talk to the people and bring them along. That is key. The social license to operate is key, whether it's a private company or a government company. So, yep, it's very, very key, very important, but we can't wire up the nation unless we have some of those transmission lines.
There was no mention of nuclear in AEMO's report. Now, we know the opposition leader says Labor's renewables rollout will cost $1.5 trillion, but the rollout of 7 nuclear reactors would be a fraction of that, they're saying. What do you make of that claim?
Well, I think, I'd have to say, I think they're sort of pulling figures out of a hat. They don't actually know, and they are admitting that they don't know in the sense they haven't put their costings out. But to me, I see this as almost a capital P political point scoring system. The key thing is it's sending a message in that we want to delay. We would actually prefer our previous gas-led recovery to go on. What AEMO is very clearly saying is when we think about driving down emissions from a climate change point of view, we have to act now, each year, every year, continuously for the next 10, 15 years. We can't wait for 15 years to get nuclear into the system. So, to my mind, it's pie in the sky, it's political point scoring. That's what politicians and oppositions do.
Greg Bourne, great to have you on the program. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rachel.